This morning on all the dailies, questions being asked about this supposed deal that the Daily Nation calls secret, Trump secret Ebola deal with Kenya. The Standard calls it Ebola Unit Uproar. And they ask the question, guinea pigs? Taifa Leo anasema Trump kurushia Kenya Ebola. The Ministry of Health has responded in a statement issued on Tuesday this week, or yesterday rather. It's a two-page statement that talks about Kenya being a trusted partner in global health security. But it neither confirms nor denies this deal. But it says that in one of the paragraphs that if at all this should happen, it will be done within Kenyan law. That's what we want to discuss this morning with my panelists. Wilson Sossion Mwalimu, karibu sana, is a former member of the National Assembly, a known unionist and educationist. We have Gloria Roba, Senator, karibu sana as well. And Peter Orero, who's the MP Kibra. Now, just to set the stage for this discussion, we need to understand that Kenya has never recorded any confirmed cases of Ebola. And if this was to happen, it would mean that these would be the very first cases of Ebola to be recorded on Kenyan soil. If at all this deal goes through. If at all. We still do not know. We only learned of this through American media. The New York Times, Fox News. But we've also come across a discussion between Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, and the President while they were addressing this issue. This is what Marco Rubio had to say about Ebola and America.
The number one priority of our foreign policy is to protect the American people. We cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States. And so the State Department and other agencies represented here, the Centers for Disease Control, HHS, others, are working very, very hard to contain this crisis to the countries where it's currently located, particularly the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And so we've surged assistance to make sure that is being contained there. And obviously, multiple agencies involved here are also very involved in tracking people, just to make sure that nobody comes into this country that has Ebola and creates a problem for us. And we feel like we've got good efforts in place to do that, and Americans should feel assured that the President and his administration is doing everything we can to protect them on that front.
We cannot and will not allow any case of Ebola on American soil. That's a statement, that's an assertion by Marco Rubio. So why Kenya? Why Kenya? That's the question we're asking this morning. Mwalimu Sossion. Is there any justification for this? Is there any justification or validation of why we should even be discussing this?
Yeah, I wonder why we should be discussing this while science is very clear about infectious diseases. Quarantine is a scientific term of restricting movement of organisms or humans or livestock or animals that are confirmed to be infected with infectious diseases. From where it is identified, it cannot be moved. You have to be treated where you are until confirmed that you are free from that disease. That is when you can move elsewhere. It's not just even about transborder. Even within regions, your movement should always be restricted. It's an international law, and it's not a law to be negotiated between government and government for violation. So according to me, I don't see how this story can meet the threshold of international law on quarantine and movement of persons that have got such infection. And that is why in the ports of entries of all countries, there are detection or confirmatory test processes to rule out anybody having infectious diseases. So I believe with the laws of this country and the prevailing international law, anybody infected, it doesn't matter the citizenship. Whether you are a citizen of US, whether you are a citizen of any country, movement will have to be restricted. Where you get infected with Ebola, you'll be treated within that containment area. So that there are no special exceptions to individuals or organisms or animals in terms of international law. So I don't think we are redefining international law in the media in Kenya.
Now, we have a statement from the Ministry of Health signed by the CS. And it should have been a yes or no answer because the CS was asked this question.
The statement made by Duale is very clear that Kenyan law will apply in any form of agreements. And that Kenyan law, it includes quarantine, it includes non-admission. So according to me, from where I am and my understanding of the statement of the ministry is that no person with Ebola, whether you are going to isolate them miles and miles away from human settlement, can be admitted to Kenya. And that has to be preserved.
Yes, but the ministry starts by saying that the government of Kenya notes ongoing discussion with the U.S. government.
Maybe if
that there
are
already discussions.
Must be within international law and domestic law.
Right.
And in terms of infectious diseases, once you apply quarantine, you restrict movement. So if an American citizen is infected by Ebola in DRC, that citizen cannot move DRC under international law. So you cannot move an Ebola case from DRC to Cairo or to Nairobi or to elsewhere. It doesn't work that way.
All right.
So all these others are political discussions.
Really?
And not
this
scientific.
is political?
Yes. These are politics. These are politics.
Senator Roba.
And I don't think...
It would have been a very...
I am not sure. I'm not sure whether it is
you.
factual that a camp has to be established
then that would have been the direct answer by the Ministry of Health.
For confining citizens who will be transported
Senator
from
Roba.
other countries.